Hi folks, here's another brief video on the Moebius Aries 1B and some additions that I've received this week, very kindly sent by Paul from ParaGrafix, so thanks very much, Paul. These are three upgrade sets or upgrade pieces that he's produced to correct some of the minor detail on the Aries. Basically, there's two packages here of some resin parts. I think certainly the replacement door was available at Wonderfest as a 3D printed part on it, but this looks like it's been cast in resin now. And this docking arm port, I'll show you those in a moment. And there's also this a set of decals and transparencies, the backlight films for the cabin. Which you get a bit of a choice, but I'll go through those in a moment. So first of all, looking at some of the these two parts, they're really nicely packaged in this quite tough packaging, and you take it out the packet and we have the part in a little Ziploc bag and a set of instructions. Now, to be fair, the instructions are pretty basic because it's basically take one part away and replace it with another one. But if I slip this out of the bag, and I've got the kit part here, so we'll do a little comparison. So let's see if I can get these in focus. So there's the kit part in white. And I mean, it's reasonably detailed, but it's pretty basic. And then this grey one, you can see the part in the centre is completely different, and it's also got the correct number of ribs on the inside of the dish. So it's a much more accurate part, and it is quite prominent on the face of the ship. So it's worth replacing with this. Now I've got the front section here. I'm still working on the kit, so I've not done anything to this at all really. This is as it comes in the box, and basically inside here you can see the hole where it fits, and there's two little get that a bit closer, two little sections there where the part fits. So this literally just drops into place. It can only go one way up, it can't go any other way, and it fits in there. Obviously you need to use CA glue, or I think I'll probably secure it with some epoxy just to make sure it doesn't come loose again. And I turn it over, and there it is in position, and very nice it looks too. And the fact that it's keyed on the back means it can only go in the one way, so you'll always get the detail in the right orientation. Okay, so that's that part. Put that to one side, and moving on to the door. Now again, similar packaging, little instruction booklet, which again, very simple inside. Kit part, ParaGrafix part, swap one for the other. Again, it's in this little bag, and I also have the other part here. So the main difference with this is, I mean, the detail is a bit crisper on the inside, but also if you notice the depth, I think there was a limitation on what Moebius could actually achieve with the molding process, whereas the depth of this is, let me just try and get that around the right way and focused. The depth of this is much deeper. I don't think that's going to focus, is it? Or maybe. Try again, just about. So you can see it's a much deeper piece than this. So the Moebius door is too shallow. Now again, here's the, you can see I haven't progressed much with this since the last video, mainly because I've been doing something else, but also I was waiting for these parts to come so I could make sure I don't sort of get anything in the way of everything else I'm putting in. So basically this part will fit in here. Now I did actually test fit this, so I've had it out of the packet already once just to try it out, and there's a very slight discrepancy in the sense that if you push it, it clips in. So it does fit nice and tight, but it pops out again. And I think all it needs is a tiny shaving either off the top or the bottom in order to get it to fit. It's sort of handed in the sense that it's got the ParaGrafix logo on the back, and that goes sort of right way up, and that detail in the door at the bottom, that little sort of small hatch part there, not focusing very well tonight, this is it, that goes at the bottom. And I've also found that if you turn it upside down, it doesn't fit at all, so that I think there is a very slight taper on the part as well, but it's so close it makes no difference. But I think just a shaving off the aperture will allow that to just drop straight in, but you can feel it clicking out as it's just such a snug fit. It just needs that little tiny bit of help at the top there to get it to fit. So again, well worth getting hold of one of those if you want to be accurate. So that's the two resin parts, and then the other part that's been sent, or the other package that's been sent. Let's move some of the stuff out of the way there. Is the this is kind of the kind of bread and butter stuff that Paul's famous for, apart from his etched brass, of course. So the resin stuff is a relatively new venture, but this is typical ParaGrafix of old, if you like. Although he's constantly making improvements to the process and the parts and things like that. I'll take these out of the bag. So obviously there's a piece of card inside to keep everything from bending, and typical instructions, and it goes into detail about where you need to cut parts out depending on which way you decide to go. You can either go with the decals that basically just stick to the existing screen, or you can cut them out and then backlight them and have the slide in with the light behind. There's also pieces to go over the lights in the ceiling. There's a sign for the zero gravity toilet. There's also a little decal there which looks like the thing for for opening the door, which I don't think you get with the Moebius kit. And there's an option here. You can use a decal, or you can cut out the aperture. There's some decals provided for the staircase should you decide not to light it, but you just want to give the impression that it's lit, and they'll catch enough light off the surrounding light or the overhead light in order to make it appear that it's lit. I've actually cut mine away at the back so that I can light them through the styrene, so I probably won't use those. There's also the weightless condition signs for the overhead above the lift shaft, and then there's a circular piece that drops in to diffuse the lights from the down lights. And then finally there's a little decal there with the elevator for calling the lift I'm not sure whether that actually comes with the Moebius kit, but that's a good addition if it doesn't. And some basic instructions on how to apply. These are, if I bring these up a bit closer, you can see how incredibly well detailed they are. I notice you get an extra weightless sign, you get extra toilet signs, although I think there is a variation in one of them that it says in the instructions. So that's handy if you accidentally cut one the wrong size. These parts here, or these screens here, are for the judo match that's in the movie. So the stewardesses are watching the judo match, and then the rest of these are fictional, but some of them relate to the movie. I mean, there's a Pan Am commercial there for presumably advertising flights to the space station. There's a news report about the supposed plague on the moon that Floyd talks about, although it's all made up. There's also some scenes from other Kubrick movies. I think that's The Shining there. I haven't got my magnifying glasses on, so I can't see. I think that looks like Clockwork Orange. I'm not sure what that is. Possibly Spartacus, maybe. I don't know. But they're all there. And there's a Pan Am logo and a astronautics logo at the bottom there. You could use those. You could build those into a base, which might be nice, and then backlight it, which would look quite nice as a sort of base for the model. And then some of those are repeated on the decal sheet there. Now, if these are the same as I've used in the past, and I'm just looking on there to see if it says anyone else printed them. It might mention it in the instruction, just says ParaGrafix on there. They are extremely thin, which is what you want, because you don't want some big thick decal sort of being difficult to sort of conform to anything. But you do have to be careful with them, and they should always be applied to a gloss surface, whether it be, even if it was bare plastic, I'd be tempted to put a coat of gloss over the bare plastic just to apply it to. And I normally float them on with some microset. Being flat, you shouldn't need to use microsol on them, but the microset helps them just sort of glide into position. But you've got to be very careful afterwards of not poking them around, because you can end up creasing them or tearing them. But they are really, really good quality. There's the white steps, which I won't be using, but they'll come in handy for something in the future, and I need a little bit of white decal. And the smaller ones there that are detailed instructions as the toilet instructions. So you do have the option. You've got that or the backlight films. I've just realised that one with the pink on looks like Eyes Wide Shut. That's Lolita. That's definitely The Shining. That's definitely Clockwork Orange. Yeah, that is Spartacus. It looks like the gladiator scene. That's Dr. Strangelove, I think. And that's Paths of Glory. Not sure what that one is. But I know, actually I've realised what it is. It's the scene from the Orion when he's asleep in the Orion and his pen's floating in the cabin. I think that's the scene with the car that's playing on the screen in the back of the seat in front of him. Again, a lot of thought gone into this, so well done, Paul. So obviously lots to do there. I'm hoping to get back on this over the next few weeks, and I've not actually reconnected all the mechanism inside this yet. I was doing a bit of adjustments on it, and I'm just waiting on the Arduino control unit to come, and then I'm going to sort of experiment with that, try and get that all working before I start doing any more painting and assembly work. But you know, there's a fair bit to do on this yet, but I'll get there in the end. A couple of other things I've done. I printed the figures off. I've been working on the, you can see that very well there. I've been working on the cockpit interior. I've gone with that red colour that I did on the pod, because when you put some white lighting in there, it actually does light up red like in the movie. So rather than using red LEDs that aren't always that reliable to sort of give you a good coverage, the white LEDs through onto the red paint does give the good effect. I still need to tone these seats down a bit. They're a bit shiny, and I've put the instrument panels in, which are actually not painted on the back, so they're going to be backlit, and that'll light up the instruments. I presume at some point Paul's going to be doing a cockpit set for this, maybe, I don't know. There's one of the pilots who he's partially painted. I haven't finished painting him yet. As somebody pointed out, the headsets are slightly wrong on this, because the headsets that they wear are just like, they look like sort of quite modern sort of earbud types with a little microphone, whereas these look like the old 70s hi-fi headphones. So but I'm not too worried about that. By the time it's all built in, and you're barely going to see it inside. So that's those, and that's about it in terms of the actual the Aries. As it is, while I've been sort of, you know, put this on the back burner for a bit, I've been working on another project, which is the gigantic trumpeter U-boat in 140 scale, which coincidentally is the same scale as the Aries. So give you an idea, here's the Aries, and here's a torpedo from the U-boat. So it kind of puts things in perspective, really, in terms of relative sizes. But again, long way to go on that U-boat. It's just another project I've got on. So so that's it, really. So I'm looking forward to getting to work with these and finish the interior off, and do some lighting, and I'll do another video around that, and I'll install the door and the little docking port and show those when they've been painted. But otherwise, it's just a case of pushing on and trying to get these legs working again, and then we'll see if I can get it to a sort of some form of completion. Okay, so thanks for watching.